The other concept I want to talk about is the emotional field. And in systems thinking, this really focuses on your family of origin, but I want to sort of broaden this idea a little bit. So this is you, or me, or any one of us. And we have different areas that influence our own anxiety and emotions and things. So we have our family of origin, my mom, for example. We have our workplace, which for some of us is also the church. And what happens is these emotional systems all interact with one another. So what's going on? One person can act one way if things are going well at home, and a different way if things aren't going so well at home. If someone's feeling anxiety about money, that'll pop up maybe in them voting differently on a church budget. So there's this idea of these different emotional systems that we don't always know what's going on, and you shouldn't necessarily guess what's going on, but just to realize that people have a lot of things that are acting on them, and to make space for people to not always act and react the way we think they're going to, because there might be something else going on. So that's very important. So again, there's this idea of the emotional field, and how we act and react or respond in those situations can actually influence the systems around us. So Jeff being able to be the non-anxious presence, once he let the email sit for a couple of days, really helped to calm down the system. The last concept I want to talk about is the idea of the roller coaster of change. Have any of you seen this chart before? This is from Gil Rendell. A lot of you have. So whenever a congregation or any organization is going through change, there's this idea that oh my God, it's not just a cat toy. What happens is the leaders tend to experience the change at a faster rate or sooner than the rest of the congregation. So the leaders might, I'll use the example of my own congregation. Catholic Charities came and wanted to partner with us to do a hot lunch program. They were going to come and renovate our kitchen and run the program out of our kitchen. So this sounded really great to me as a leader. So I'm like, woo, this is great. And I'm dealing with them and, talking about the abortion thing, is that okay? And so as I'm working through the possibilities and then working about how this is going to work for us and how great it's going to be for our congregation, the rest of the congregation sort of follows behind going, oh my God, there's going to be all these people in our church that we don't know. And so they were going through this reactivity phase. So there's this understanding that as we're anticipating change, we're also anticipating loss. And those feelings of loss tend to get us into our reactive state of mind. Whereas we're looking at hope and the possibilities, we're more in a responsive state of mind, and we can be more creative. So it's learning to make space in that change curve for everyone, because they're going to be on a different, the leaders are going to be on a different part of that curve than the rest of the congregation. And there's always going to be the member shows up at the annual meeting where the vote's going to be taken saying, I haven't heard about this. There's always going to be some stragglers in that curve. So here's the whole church watched with nervous anticipation as the visitors sat where the Martins have sat for 42 years. So the Martins did not hear about the new hospitality policy. So with that, we're going to invite our panelists up.